Perfect. If they only play one card this turn, we are dropping another Robin on them. Back-to-back Robin could be cool. Welcome back, crew. We've got some exciting stuff today. We are diving into OP12, and specifically, I want to have a look at every leader from OP12. We've got 6 new ones from OP12, which we will look at every single one. I'm going to break this up into 2 parts, so we're not doing it all in one long video. We'll break it down into 2, nice, manageable, 3 in each. That way we can give the time that we need to each leader. I will have gameplay of each one, or just do 1 game of each, just so you can sort of see how each are trying to operate. And I do feel like it's very important to give these leaders a go because 1, you might enjoy them and you might want to play this leader in general. But number 2 is it helps you understand how the leader is trying to play against you, and it will better equip you with the information on how to beat it. Really important to understand these things. Now, I'm going to have in the description, check it out if you want to go straight to the games. We've got 3 lined up for you today. We're going to be checking out Kuzan today. We'll check out Rosinante, and we will have a look at Koala also. All 3 interesting leaders. In fact, every leader in OP12 I feel like is an interesting leader. I feel like they've all got a very technical aspect to them. Even red, which red is traditionally a color that is just trying to do the one thing. It's trying to hit hard and, you know, go wide, hit hard, hit fast. Let's do, and, you know, wipe out their board. I feel like red isn't a very, I mean, for me, it's not to my play style, so I don't enjoy red as a whole. But I'd got to say, even Rayleigh has a lot of technical play within him. So, you know, there is no leader in OP12 that isn't fun, you know, for someone that will all see play. I guarantee that. Now, they're not all going to see play in larger tournaments. I feel like there are some weaker leaders as a whole, and we're going to go through them all. Today, we will be covering Rosinante as well, and I feel like he is one of those weaker ones, but let's first talk about Kuzan. So, in terms of deck lists, I mean, I'm not going to go into the deck list in full depth right now. Every deck that we're looking at today, I've sort of adjusted a deck list that I found on Top Decks. So if you don't know Top Decks, check out the website. It covers all of the matches that are happening worldwide, and we get all of the information to help inform our decisions. Really important resource. I will put a link to that in the description also. Let's have a look at Kuzan. So also, I'm going to have the deck list displayed right before each game so you can see what deck list is being used for that leader. And I'll put every single deck list in the description as well. So going to be a big description. Fear not. Just check out the stuff that you need to check out. Kuzan. All right, if you don't know this leader, let's chat about him right now. 5,000 power, 5 life, mono blue. Typical stat lines that you would see for mono leader. When you trash cards from your hand due to your navy card effects, you may draw an equal number of cards that was trashed due to that effect. Very strong effect. And when I see effects that are not 1, once per turn, or 2, turn-based, as in on your turn or on your opponent's turn, those are effects that have the potential just to go just way off scale. Like we can see this card getting busted at some point. Now, I do feel like Bandai are going to be aware of this on a leader and are going to try and not print things that are going to make this super busted, but We have a lot of good cards printed in OP12 to hit this leader effect. Let's talk about firstly how this effect looks. So here's an older card. This is from OP6. It has on play, you may trash 2 cards from your hand. So here's that trash effect. Now, this is a cost, so you pay the cost, you get the effect. Now, once you pay the cost, you can then use this effect. You get to you get to draw 2 cards after you trash 2 cards. So for every card trashed, you get to draw. This is not a once per turn effect, and it's not once per event. It's when that card is trashed, you draw a card. So trash a card, draw a card, trash a card, draw a card. You get 2 cards, you're cycling through with this effect. The cool thing is trash effects usually come with, trash costs rather, come with a strong effect. And in this case, you get to bump back a card they choose back to their hand. These can be really powerful in games where they go tall. If they've got 7 cost bodies on the board, this is bumping back a 7 cost body on the board for the cost of 5, and you get to cycle. Really good. Some of the core cards of this deck though. Now, I would say Garp and Kuzan are 2 very cool cards of this deck. Garp being on 8 cost, you play him out, you trash a card from your hand. But you get to draw a card anyway, so don't worry, you draw a card, you're cycling. And then with that cost, you get to play a blue navy card that has 8,000 power or less. This is pretty much everything in our deck, or everything in this deck at least. Now, there are a lot of things in this deck that you want to do. What this deck is trying to do essentially is establish a board of bodies around that 8,000 power mark. And what it's trying to do is stop your opponent from attacking it. You've got 5 life, very huge amount of life. You're going to be constantly drawing cards into your hand, and you're going to be able to use those cards to defend your life quite easily while establishing big bodies on the board until you get to a point where you go, all right, enough's enough. Now I'm swinging. You're going to be swinging anyway, but now I'm swinging 4 bodies at your face. What are you going to do? And some of the tricks that you do is with this Garp, you get to play out another body like this one here. This is your primary target, I believe. I think this one is probably the best card in the deck. If you have, you get a +1 cost with your leader. Let's just say that for the first effect. And if you have 5 or more cards in your hand, this gets +1 cost. That's what that one is. The on play is you may trash 1 card from your hand. Once again, you cycle. Up to 1 of your opponent's characters cannot attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. Really, really strong. You're preventing the attacks while building board. This is exactly what I'm saying this deck is trying to do. You're doing all of these hand draw things. You're basically getting your deck into a stage where you've got lots of cards in hand and you've got the bodies on the board just to attack. It kind of feels a lot like Ace. If you love Ace, you might enjoy this deck as well because it has that similar feel that you've just got this endless supply of resources to defend with, and then you just start swinging with bodies. And you've got access to these blue removal things. You've got all these things going for you. Really fun deck to play. Another key sort of card, in terms of going first, second, I feel as though this deck could go either or. You're going to hit your curve with the 8 and 6 if you go second. So I feel like ideally second is better, but at the same time, your searches are odd numbers. So you are not going to go wrong if you do either or. You've got really good curve here with playing, this out turn 1, this out turn 2, this out turn 3, this out turn 4 with one of these, and everything along the way. So really fun things in this deck. Do check out this game. This this and do play all of these decks because they will give you so much experience. This one is a meta deck. You need to know this deck. All right, let's have a look at our next deck. Okay, so next on the list is Rosinante. Rosinante is one of my all-time favorite characters. Just the story around him, quite a strong one, and I love what Bandai have done. I love what Bandai have done with him because it's just one. It's akin to the old blue-green Rosinante, but two, it just ties into the lore so beautifully with lore, LAW lore, just the interaction with lore. So let's read the leader effect. Once per turn, if your Trafalgar Law would be KO'd, you may add the top card of your life pile to your hand instead. So basically, our Rosinante here is sacrificing his life so his law doesn't die. Beautiful, right? And it is very much like the old Rosinante, the blue-green, because the blue-green was able to block to protect the field, while this one here just takes the life to protect the field. Essentially the same thing, little bit different, but essentially does the same thing. Now he does have a second effect, and the second effect is good also. Activate main once per turn, Don -1. During this turn, the next time you play Trafalgar Law from your hand with a cost of 4, important, or more, it will have its cost reduced by 2. Okay, so this means we can play out almost any of our law for 2 Don cheaper. Not this one, not this one, has to be 4 or more. Now, a curve that we could possibly have for this deck is you go first, you have the odd curve, you play this out. Our 1 costs are really good for this deck because we play a 1 cost and then we can -1 Don. So we don't lose any efficiency with our Don at all. So let's have a look at turn 2. We play one of these out. We then minus the rest of Don with our leader effect to reduce the cost of a law by 2, and then we can play a law like this one and establish that on our turn 2. So we get a 6,000 power body on our turn 2, ready for our next attack. And this one here also brings back a Don. So you don't lose any Don. You go into your third turn with 5 Don and a 6,000 power body on board. Really, really strong. And what this deck is trying to do is it's trying to establish a baseline of bodies around that 7,000 power mark, 7, 8. We've got the 9 as well, around that sort of power mark. It's trying to establish the board to go wide at a decent level. And you're going to be using your Rosinante to protect them. Once it's established a wide board, it's going to then want to play this law here, beef up every law that's on the field, and then start swinging hard into your opponent. Now, I do think this is quite a technical leader as well because there's lots of tools to play. It's got, law shenanigans. Law is known for shenanigans, and this is no exception. It does those things. There are some really cool tricks you can do with this deck. This is one, for instance. So we've got some law blockers here. We've got this is a law blocker, this here is a law blocker, and one more, this is a law blocker. So picture this. Your opponent swings into you for 5,000. You block it out with this one here. No worries. Your opponent then goes, I'm going to swing into this one. You go, well, I'm just going to room, which goes above this, and then restands it. Your opponent goes, okay, I'll swing it face again. No worries, I'll block it again. This time they swing so hard that you would lose your law. You don't lose your law. Your law is saved by Rosinante. Now, of course, risking your law to, protect a life from this Rosinante doesn't make sense. But if your opponent is attacking another body on the field that you want to save, these room shenanigans work quite effectively. You can essentially save something twice without having to use this effect. Pretty cool stuff in general. I do like what this deck is doing as a whole. It's definitely not in the meta. This deck list actually was not from Top Decks because this was the only one of the 6 that wasn't in a placing position. Goes to show the strength of it. However, it still is a viable deck, just at a couple of tier levels below the top. Do check out the game because the game is actually really cool and it shows you how this deck can win against even the strongest decks. Because it's got these shenanigans happening, your opponent doesn't know what you're trying to do and you can win the game by surprise. So I feel like this is a great deck for locals. Do check it out. Do check out this match. Please do check it out because I think this was one of the most surprising ones. Anyway, let's move on to the next leader. All right, so the last leader I'm going to cover today is none other than Koala. She comes with a novel. Let's read what she does. When this leader attacks your opponent's leader, if you have 2 or more characters with a cost of 8 or more, draw 1 card. So you have to have 2 characters that cost 8. If you attack leader specifically, you draw a card. It's got inbuilt draw. This is known to be a pretty strong mechanic. Now, it's not even that hard to have 2 or more 8-cost characters on board if you're playing a Rev package because there are so many cards that have inbuilt into them. If your leader's a Rev army type, this gains +4. If your leader's a Rev army type, this gains +4, bringing it to 8, bringing it to 8. If your leader's a Rev army, gains +3, bringing it to 8. If your leader is Koala or Monkey D. Luffy, +3, bringing it to 9. Okay. We've also got just outright 8. And this one here is an on play, gains +2, bringing it to 8. So many of your characters bump up to an 8 cost that you can easily make this effect happen on your, say, 3rd turn, 4th turn at worst, starting that card draw process. Really good, solid effect. But it has more. It has more. Once per turn, when your opponent plays a character with an original cost of 8 or more, or when your opponent plays a character through an effect of a character, you may activate this effect. So that means you've got 2 things here. If they outright play an 8 cost, this effect activates. If they play a character through another effect, like the blue Sanji plays out a character, or that Garp we spoke about plays out a character, or, the kid Luffy, the 2-cost kid, you trash him to play a 5-cost, that is playing a character through an effect, it will incur this following effect to happen, which is your opponent adds the top card of their life cards to their hand. They lose a life if they do one of these things. This puts an incredible amount of pressure onto your opponent so they can't play these effects. And even things like the teach, the 10-cost teach will still incur this Wrath of Koala, even though he can shut down Koala's effects. This effect would be active before that is finalized, so it will still take effect. All right, so very strong leader in general. I think this is generically strong, and I feel like I don't think Koala is quite at the top yet, but Koala, her novel of effects here, so good that she will be strong at some point in the game. I can see it. There's no reason why she can't be. I've been playing this a lot, and I feel like she's one of these ones that is just missing the mark. And let me talk to you about what she's trying to do. At the moment, she has this access to the rev package, really strong stuff. And what this black rev package is trying to do is it's trying to hurt your opponent's hand and hurt it real bad. So 2 main cards of this deck, of the package, is Karasu, which has a when attacking effect. If your leader's rev army, which it is, and your opponent has 5 or more in hand, when attacking, they have to lose a card from hand. They get to choose, but they still lose one. Very strong when attacking, so its continuous effect makes your opponent want to attack into a 6,000 body, as opposed to your leader. The other one, which is even stronger than this, is Nico Robin. I absolutely love this card. I think this is going to be a core card of black decks at some point. This is not going to be isolated to this one alone. Someone will bust this card in another deck and it will go gangbusters. Truly will. Let's have a look at this. So if your leader is Koala or Monkey D. Luffy, it gains blocker as well as +3 cost. It becomes a 7,000 power blocker in this deck. Even stronger. So this is really good. The thing I love most about this card, on play, you may trash 1 card from your hand. If your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, your opponent trashes 2 cards from their hand. Meaning, if they have 5 in their hand, you get to trash 2. Or they get to trash 2, meaning they've only got 3 left in their hand. To date, this is the strongest card we have for hand disruption, because all of the other ones, the only other card that I can recall that disrupts or removes 2 cards from hand is the purple Law blocker. But that one there, it does it when you have 7 in your hand, or your opponent has 7 in their hand. Meaning it brings a 7 hand down to a 5. It can't do less than that. It can't bring it down to less than 5. Karasu is pretty good because it can bring a hand of 5 down to 4. And we've seen other cards that bring hands of 6 down to 5. And I think there is another one that brings a 5 down to 4 as well. But none we've seen have left them with only 3 cards in hand. And this card does that. Such a strong effect. And if you think about the next turn, you're attacking him with a 7,000 body. As a base, you've still got all your other Don. You can then remove another 2 cards from hand. This thing is super powerful. Only thing this deck is really missing is one, it would benefit from Banish. Banish would really tie in with this, but the thing that I think it is needing more of, which I've tried to do a little bit, is it needs to control the board. It's already controlling the hand so well. If it can control the board, it's going to put so much control onto your opponent that they won't be able to play the game. I really feel like this could be a super powerful leader. I just don't feel like it has been fully worked out yet. I've tried to do board control using this Robin to reduce cost, which is searchable through our effects, paired with Sabo, which can KO 2 things and 2 big things at once. We also have access to Stussy here, which can KO anything, so really strong KO effects. One thing I want to mention about this deck is we also have this dragon, which is working for us. And I feel like I don't want to say that this dragon is as strong as Gecko Moria. Yes, that Moria. But it's pretty good. So on play, you may place 3 Rev Army type cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck. If your leader's a Rev Army, play up to 1 character with a cost of 6 or less from your trash. Now, Moria did 2 cards, but they were both low cost. In fact, a 4 and a 2. This is outright doing a 6. Now we have access to some really strong sixes in this deck. That being, and see, it says Rev Army, so you need to return 3 Rev Armies, but you play out any 6 cost, not even black, any 6 cost. So it can be yellow, it can be black in this deck. If you're playing a red black Sabo, it could be a red 6. Keep that in mind. But in this deck, you can bring back a Kuma, which is also then generating life, or you can bring back a blocker, which is also disrupting hand. Really strong and establishing an 8k body plus a 7k body in the one move. And you've got the defensive and offensive power. So really strong key card for this deck. I think that's all I'm going to really talk about these decks. I will, before each game, I'll show you the deck list I'm using for that game. Feel free to, try out every one of these decks, get a feel for how the leader is trying to operate so it can better inform your game, and maybe it's something that you want to take on yourself. Now, I am pretty fond of Koala as a leader in general. I feel like I do want to work more on this one and bring it to a much stronger level. If you are interested in Koala content at all, please let me know in the comments. Drop a koala bear emoji, or I don't know, let me know that there's some form of love for Koala, and I will be happy to share that content with you. I love growing decks with you guys. It is the best fun. So if this is one that you want to see on top of the other ones that I'm doing, not going to leave Ace, Ace, Yamato, Robin, not leaving those behind. We will still cover those at points. Just want to know if you guys want Koala in the mix. Without further delay, let's jump into some games. All right, let's go. Betty into Kuzan could be interesting. I'm going to choose second. That way we can get our curve with Garb here. And we're going to keep this just because we've got 2 searches here. We don't really have hard removal. We've got a lot of bouncing back to hand. This is one of them. Return up to 1 character with a cost of 5 or less to its owner's hand. That's a good one. That is a good one. All right, what we want, this is a really great card, and I would say it's best paired on this 8 turn with Garp here. Garp with Kuzan. That is a great combination. Great combination. We just take this one. Jozu might just be counter. I mean, I could play him out on that 6-on turn. Bring back to Shiggy. That's a good play for this turn. Do like this Cavendish. Really good card. We're hitting our curve pretty well. Drop this down. So can't really do the bounce back with Jozu anymore. Definitely don't want to bounce this back. Could do something like this, but I don't think you get the value there either. Might just be playing Sengoku here. Right, we're going to take that. I think we use Trigger because we get to trash a card, and I'll trash this one. We get the draw, and because we did an effect, we get to draw again. So we actually draw 2 from that. And I might even just play out another Cavendish, actually. Because of that, we will do 1k on Jozu. This is a 2. And I don't think we got a 2k at all. So we just take this one. There's a 2k for us next time. All right. This is fine. This is definitely fine. We want to get rid of this thing. So we can do 2 on this. Really make sure we destroy this thing. And we'll get rid of... Probably don't need a second one of these. Won't need that though. Saving it. Ooh, okay. Okay. Now I'm not sure. Now I'm feeling I should keep something up. Play out this. Got to get rid of something here. So gonna take out this one. Play out Sengoku instead. We trash a card. We'll trash this one. Grab ourselves a 2k. And 2k. Draw a card from effect. And we leave one up for this ice block, which is a plus 4,000. Pretty good. Don't want to run the risk of getting KO'd by these 3. And there's still an option of a rush coming out. So they're at a very strong turn. We survive this turn and we should be in a good place. We don't have any blockers though. So still a little bit risky here. The Betty is definitely strong these days. Definitely strong. Next turn, we're on 8. So that could be our Garp turn. Play down Kuzan to prevent one of their attackers. Could be strong. Not liking where this is at the moment. This is fairly strong. Having that ability to have these 2 attack us next turn as well. Hard to defend all this out. What do we got? We can defend that. Defend Betty. And take 1. Might be a decent option. So we'll take this one. See if they attack into Cavendish now. 12 cards in hand. That's nuts, right? Yeah, I thought this might be coming. So we do this here and this here. And then this should be a face. Yeah. And we'll just 2k out of that. All right. So we can prevent an attack. The other thing we can do is attack 1, attack 2. And then we can do a Grav Blade, which could be interesting. Not sure that that's good enough, but we'll find out. We'll get rid of this card. I just want to know if they're going to defend it, is basically all. Okay, they do defend it. They do defend that. This is a very tricky situation. I could remove these two and then attack one of these. And then hope I can defend. I'll leave one dot up. This is what we're going to do. All right. Get rid of those two. Attack at this one. See if they've got a 1k counter. They do, but that's a rush character, so not the worst thing to happen. Now they'd have to ditch this to ramp these into 8,000 bodies. Okay, I mean, it's a searcher, so they can still do it. That's a smart move. That is a smart move. I doubt that they could brick. I doubt they could whiff off this. Does Betty even have 5 non-revolutionary army cards in her deck? I don't think so. So they've got a koala. We need to defend 2 attacks here. This is wild. This is wild. Okay. Attacking in at the Cavendish as well. We don't actually have... We've got a massive hand and not a lot of counter. So... I don't want to show that I don't have any 1Ks. I'm not going to block that. Because showing a 2 and two 2s from 10 cards, that's really telling. Where right now, no blocker. Gotta do this. The 2 and the 2. There's no others. Is it just 4k encounter that I've got? That is wild, right? That is wild. No blocker. We're going to use this effect. Trash a card. We'll get rid of one of these. Draw a card. Okay. All right, back to a similar situation. Back to where we were. I throw one on here and hope that I get rid of this thing. Please don't be a 2k. We did know that that was a 2k. We did know that. We did know that. All right. Card to trash. I will trash one of these. Play out this. Draw a card. I select a card to trash. I'll get rid of another non-counter card here. And... this one can't attack. Okay. A little bit more counter than before. I mean, they've got rid of 4 cards off us, so they're in a stronger position. We can close the game next turn with just these cards alone. So, yeah, I just don't know about what they did there. That does not seem like a good move. This might be a blocker. If this is a blocker, I'm going to be feeling pretty silly. We got to trash a card. We'll trash this one. It is a blocker. It is a blocker. Alright, a blocker with 1k. A blocker with 1k. 2 cards to trash. We draw. We draw. Okay. Now, I may trash this character, return up to 1 character with the cost of 5 to its owner's hand. So we hit for 6. Then, alright. They have a 1 at least in their hand. We don't know the rest. I think we just do 9 first. And then we've got game. It was a really hard split there. But definitely, how close was it? 1, 2. Okay, we were still fine. I went 9 because they would have had, we knew this one, they would have had to have 2 2s from that draw, which I thought is unlikely. But the chance that they got another 2, like if we split 10-10, and to be safe on the first one, the chance that they got another 2 from this was, I guess, more likely over the 3 cards. So I just went probability there. Anyway, that's Kuzan into Betty. That was not the easiest match. I would say they're more familiar with their deck than we are with ours, and was still able to take the win there. So Kuzan could be good if you are looking for him in OP12. I do think it was a fun one. Don't think it would be, you'd really want to play it a lot over the board if you're going to bring it to a competition, because yeah, the timing with the effects of the draw and the trash is very important, and you're going to be doing a lot of that. So you need to know these cards inside out, so you're not spending all of your mental energy on that and you're able to focus on the actual game. Anyway, let's take a look at our next leader. All right, Rosie into Zoro. This is going to be a match. We want first. Not happy with that hand. Mulligan that. All right, we got to search. Can find. This will be a good next turn play, so we'll just grab that. The other one I was considering grabbing was the 7 cost. That could, I mean, it's always good. It's heal, and it's 9,000 power. So, yeah. This will be our next turn play, though, unless we grab the 4 cost, not this 4 cost, a different 4 cost. So we didn't do that. Attack in here. This will be an interesting game because the Zoro destroys boards. He is known as the board destroyer. Can't use our effect on a 3 cost, so we just play it out. Otherwise, we would have gone into a Rosie, then leader effect into this. Here we are. This is exactly what I'm talking about here. Considering saving this actually, because this can replenish our hand and apply pressure. So I'm actually going to do that. Take that hit. I mean, we could have saved it by taking a hit. All right. They've got 7 cards in hand. I think we play this out. We play this first. We grab a card. This will be good soon. We want to play this. We don -1 to do it. Do I just hard play it? 4. Yeah, and they've only got 4. No, we don't hard play it because I want to use this effect soon. In fact, if I do this law effect, we can play this out. Use action, -1 don. They lose 2. They lost. Tashigi's not bad. The good thing about that is now, or actually first, let's see if they save Koina now. Nope, not doing that. And we get to draw from this card now. Drawing this is good. And another one here. All right. I think we're off to a really good start. I think this is as good as this deck is going to go against Zoro, realistically. Okay. Would love to attack back into their board. Obviously without any 1k counters. Not going to be doing that. Going in for this one. I mean, if I take 2 life, I'm probably cooked. But if I stomp down this one, no, we have to let it go. Take this life. All right. Draw. Now we swing this into Koina. This is a bigger problem than Perona's. We won't have enough Don to play this out. We're going to do 4. We'll have 1 left over. That's 5. So it's actually 3. So we can do a 7 at face here. And then we -1. We play this, which ramps us 1. And we have 1 left. End turn. On 5. Next turn 7, we can heal 1. And yeah, straight into this Queen. Is that the 3rd one? Just crazy stuff here. Crazy stuff. Can't protect it. Can protect it? Can't protect it. Can protect it. Lose that. That's gone. Okay. Few problems on the board. We're going to start with this. grab a 1k, I guess. Grab a 1k. Want to do some healing here. Want to re-establish our board. Minus here. Play this. Gonna throw this to the top. And I guess just hit 6 at face. Man, did this game take a turn for the worst real quick. So quick. This is still a problem card. Still a problem card. I'm going to actually do an attack here as well. Yep. That's actually not too bad. And I probably should have kept one up. That's my bad. Up to one of your Trafalgar Law gains 2000 power during this turn. If that character attacks during this turn, your opponent cannot activate blocker. Interesting. Interesting. Can we actually get through here? Can we get through? Do I keep this up? One here. I think I keep it. This one's a problem. Not sure how to deal with it. If it was just the Mihawk, I don't think that they'd freely lose it. But this one, I think they would. Okay. So they've used all of their Don here. Resolve, use card action. No, this one doesn't trigger. All right. If we I do a 6 at face. I neg 1. Play this one down. Gain an active Don. Now this is a 10. This is a 7. That was a mistake. I thought they'd block it. I actually thought they'd block it. Can they get out of this? I think we just won. Yeah, that was a dirty win. Pretty dirty win. But you got to do these things when you're Rosie. I think the thing that's going for Rosinante is he's definitely not a meta deck and people aren't going to be familiar with what he does. So kind of cool that we were able to take that win, but you know, I don't know if that one's deserved. I really don't. Cheating out the win with an unblockable attack, yeah, it's pretty dirty, but we did we did play, we played for it. We took our life to save this character. We knew we had to have everything to go at it. I told you this card was the problem, not this one. If this didn't exist on the board at that point in time, I think that they would have allowed it to go through to save the Mihawk. I'm surprised they let it go through with this one on board and this one on board. I really am. Anyway, that's Rosie. Love this guy. One of my favorite characters in One Piece in general. Have fun with him at locals. Until then, let's have a look at one more of these leaders from OP12. All right. Koala into Zoro. Let's go second. It's not bad, but I think we'll try again. We got Robin's, and I think Robin is the star of the show. She really is. She's the star of the show. This dragon is also really, really strong. Not strong enough that we need to, but guess we'll take it. Now, Revolutionary or Robin, I might take this one. And we do have a Sabo removal in this deck. I think that's the only removal that we're actually running that can pair with this. So, I don't know. I was originally trying I really feel Koala's strong if you can manage their board. If you can manage their board, she's a really good leader. So how do you remove the board and still do what she wants to do is the question. Because she can dominate the hand like crazy with this Robin. Robin dominates. And we don't have much life. We do take this one. Not the Sabo I was talking about. And they've got a little bit of protection up now. Hack will sort that out though. If they don't rest him. Actually, even if they do rest him, he'll still sort this Tashiki out. Next turn, we will go for the Robin. Destroying their hand as we know it. All right, Kuina, rest, hack. Zoro into hack. No block. KO this. Koala into Kuina. Taking this on. Oh, another hack. 6 in hand. All right. We play down Robin. Dropping their hand. We're going to trash a dragon. They lose 2 cards. We then attack Koala into Kuina. And Koala at face. Okay, that's a good one to see go. What was the other one? Mihawk. So they've probably got another Mihawk in hand too. They might take this on. Yeah. Perfect. If they only play 1 card this turn, we are dropping another Robin on them. Back-to-back Robin. Could be cool. What could be cooler though? What could they play this turn? Because if they only play 1 card, or if they have 5 cards at the end of this turn, I can't force this one to trash. But playing the dragon would be kind of cool. Okay, we're definitely going to be able to play Robin. Take this one as well. Trigger. Trigger for pressure or 2k? Trigger for pressure. And then I'll have 2 blockers anyway. A restand. Dirty trick. Let's defend this out then. 1, 2, 3. And because he's already attacked into that koala, the other one that was on the board, he can't then attack again into leader. Gotta keep track of the timing with this Zoro. Alright. Now, we don't have a Robin to play out. They've got 5 in hand, so I think it is time to punish them again. We will drop this one. I don't think we're going to really get to use it. Drop the Sabo. Make him ditch 2. Attack for a 5. Attack for a 6. They take. They 2k counter out. We attack again. Trying to get max pressure on here. Need a push for game, otherwise they'll break us. They need to Mihawk down. They're not Mihawking. They are not Mihawking here. 6. Can't think of what's the 6. Are they going to restand him twice? Seven, 8, 9. To do that, saving this because I want to actually win next turn. Thought that could be coming. And they've got one more up their sleeve. And I was really hoping that was a 2k. Because they've got one more. We can block this one out. If we had a 2k though, we could have used our Robin to block and still keep it. Unfortunately, we can't do that. We lose Robin. But I think we could still win this game. So, no Don up. I think at most they've got 4. That would get through. 2 more to be safe. That's too much. 8 is 13. 10 and 12 sounds better. Yeah, they won't have 10 in hand. And this will be game here. Close. Close. All right, that is Koala into Zoro. Doesn't always go this way. Definitely having the Robin hit that hand 2 times back to back really did a lot of damage to that Zoro player. I can't say it always pans out like that, but what my point was in the middle of that game was if you can manage their board, this deck does very well. We managed their board in this game, and this deck did very well. So that is what you want to do for Koala. I was going to call her Robin. That is what you want to do for Koala. If you can optimize your build to manage the board while doing these hand effects, you will be very happy. I feel like this is going to be a very strong leader in sets to come. I think it's only going to get stronger from here. It's fairly generically good as a leader, but what it has as packages, I think is going to get stronger. Hope you enjoyed these games. We've just showcased 3 of the leaders from OP12. We will do the next 3 in the next video. I want to get a good spread of what all the leaders are trying to do. And I feel like even if you're not going to use these leaders, play the leaders to understand how they operate, because that'll at least help your game into them. So do give all these decks a try, and let me know which of these is your favorite. Until next time, look after yourselves and look after your decks.